Hi, this is HP, and today I'm going to talk about sound and expression on lead guitar, in specific in rock or with high gain distortion. I'm doing online lessons since a long time already, and I got since then like thousands of emails where people ask me about my gear, and my common answer is the gear is only 50% and the other 50 is playing technique. And today I'm going to talk about the other 50%, so the playing technique. Also the gear, first the gear settings. On the high gain solo, of course, you have distortion or overdrive, but you can take. There's a difference between overdrive and distortion. The overdrive pushes it a little bit harder, but basically these are pedals. But when I'm talking about distortion, it really would be better if you have a kind of a tube emulgation or a tube amp to get this really fat and singing distortion sound. So then you have just the plain sound of it sounds actually disgusting. You don't do anything on the sound. Now here I have a little bit of reverb on it, and if I normally together, oops, and now I just lost my pick. I'll take another one here. Normally I put a lot of delay on my lead sound because it makes it much fatter, much more singing. Here's the delay. And I have between 5 and 7 repeats on the delay. When I make it slower now, you can hear it. 3, 4. Yeah, and that was between 5 and 7. And then you put the delay on the beat of the song. If the song is like 1, 2, 3, 4, like. See, now the delay continues with the beat, so it doubles up what you're playing and gives it really fat and broad sound. But it only works if you play your stuff really on timing, because then it doubles up the right way. If you don't play on time, then you mix it up completely. We're going to talk about that later on, because it's very important. Now, to really have a nice lead sound, you must understand that the guitar itself is not really made to sound nice. Itself, the signal which comes out of your gear is actually not really, as I said, a little bit disgusting, just like this. It's you who make the sound. So, whatever you play, you always, on each note you're playing, you must really fight for your sound. You must be able to do wonderful vibratos with each finger of your picking hand. You can make like an exercise, just play long notes with each finger. Really make it sound nice. And I prefer very long and wide vibrators. Therefore, I just put my hands very relaxed and do it with the whole hand. Once you can do this, let's take an example here. Hold on. Like on a ballad. This one is A minor. First you put the delay on the tempo of the song, and then you go for it. And see, in this way you already have a very good basis in your lead sound. I was talking about the timing. When you play long notes, you have to start precise where you want to have it, but also end it precise. So when you end it, you you stop it somehow, very precise, and then the delay can continue what you did, and that really gives that fat sound. Let's take another sound. Now you heard the delay as it came on. That's the first thing you really need to work out, and the trick is when you play in low positions, the vibrato is not so intense as you play in higher positions. You really need to pay attention, work out your tone in every position of the fretboard. If you go in high positions, it's much intenser. And also attacking the tone. I mean, sometimes there was the second topic, the harmonics, the pinch harmonics. Sometimes you attack them normally, and sometimes you add slightly harmonics or more harmonics. And then when you have harmonics, the vibrato, you also should alter the vibrato. Don't make the same vibrato on every kind of any position or any playing, and that makes the whole thing very rich. And still we're talking only about the long notes now, and you see how much is behind it. That's really the trick. Now the second thing which comes now is of course the bendings. Same thing on the bendings. Make different types of bendings, but whatever you do, control it. Like if you make slow ones and then when you're on the point, you make that release figure that the delay can come after, like on ballads. Works very nice. Oops. Man, I hit the wrong knob. Here we are. The second thing is vibrato on the bendings. That's pretty tough sometimes, and really get on the point and then you switch into vibrato. You really need to practice, and on each position is different, and the vibrato, as I said before, on the normal ones is also different on each position. Really work on that stuff, and that makes your sound more flexible. I mean, the same that was now on a ballad. When we have it on a fast track, same thing but different. Now here, much faster. Here you make the thing more aggressive. See, now I was only playing long notes, but there you attack them harder, more aggressive. I mean, it's your taste, of course, but really pay attention to that stuff and don't only just play the string. That's what I'm talking about. Now, when it comes to this is what happens on the high three strings, like on the G, on the B, and on the E string, more or less. Now when we come in lower positions, oops, I have a wah here. On the lower positions, there you create a tone different. There you work more with palm muted stuff, like put your hand here, somewhere here, that not too much here, because then the tone is gone, and not too much here, because then it's not damn. Somewhere here, stay in position. And now we have palm muted stuff. And this works on the low 3 strings, more or less. Of course, you can play on the other strings as well with palm muting, but basically on the low 3 strings. And here you really have a like you're like a machine gun, like that. Do stuff like this, and when you end up the phrase, you add harmonic to end it up, or do something with it. I made slide bending and read, and that's it. Oh, that was fast. Stuff like that really works well. That wasn't the fast one. Let's see on the ballad, on the slower stuff. The same thing, but there you pay more attention to the harmonics. So let's go to the slower one here. Oops. Same thing in green. See, that works pretty well. And when you really pay attention to these few things which I told you now, then your basic signal which you're creating on the guitar with high gain distortion really is rich, is full of emotions, is some kind of alive. And then you still can add all your crazy licks if you want, but those really don't help at all if you cannot master the basics. Because if your tone doesn't sound good, every lick doesn't really work. Because when the basics are working and you add the lick, then it sounds like whoa. I'm going to show you. Hopefully I can create this whoa effect. So just play anything. That was the basics. Now you make like a run. That's how it works on a slow one. The background music is still too loud. Hold on. Because, yeah. And on the fast one is the same thing in another color. But still you need to have the basics together. Then when you now add something fun, stuff like that. I mean, I'm gonna show all that stuff which I played later, but today's topic is really only the tone and the sound and expression. Doesn't really help if you learn all kind of crazy stuff if you don't have your sound and your expression together. And really, this is the main tip in every nanosecond you're playing, not only second, nanosecond. Fight for your tone, fight for your individual expression, work with the guitar, become part of the guitar, connect with it, and just to make it sing and make it your voice. That's the main trick. It's not about the gear. Of course, if you don't, as I said in the beginning, if you don't have a nice tube distortion, the tone still works, but the tone is not so nice singing. But if you are not the man who creates a nice tone, I mean, you can play on a cheap equipment and still sound great, or you have the greatest equipment and you still sound like shit. It's not about money, actually. I mean, some people of you cannot afford a really expensive gear, but that doesn't mean you cannot play with a great tone, because it's you who makes the tone and not the gear. The gear can just give a highlight. If you're able to do it, then you get like extra 10%. I mean, sometimes people ask me here what kind of gear I'm using, and I can tell you I have a little Black Star head here, 1 watt tube amp, Black Star thing. Maybe I give a shot of that one afterward. And just that, and that's it. And it's me making the tone, but of course it's a tube distortion, and I think that was costed like $150, and not like $4,000 I don't know what amplifier, and still I create a lot of cool stuff with that thing. Yeah, it's you who makes the tone. That's the message. Yo, I hope I could help you a little bit and stop the many mails which I get about my gear. I always say that. Now I can refer to this video, say I don't give any comments, look to this video, then I don't need to type all that stuff every time. So enjoy this and have some fun. Bye.